Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Triple Thread Podcast. This recording will be the final of the set of our sort of short form kind of blitz episodes. And on today's episode, we're going to be covering the Olympics. Now, we are recording this just a few hours after the men's gold medal game concluded. So, to start off, I just want to say we're proud of our men and women who went over to Italy for Canada. They represented us well, and we hope that they had fun. We hope that they felt like they competed. You know, everybody here at home is proud of them. So just quickly, the final medal count for Canada came in with 5 gold medals, 7 silvers, and 9 bronze for a total of 21 medals, which puts us in 11th place in the total rankings, which is not great. Definitely, we're hoping for more. Definitely could have expected more, but I think it was a tightly contested Olympics this year. There were a number of athletes from different countries who really showed out. And 21 total medals wasn't too far off the national record, which I think is 25. So our men and women did great. As for the gold medals that we won, I'll quickly list off the Canadian athletes who won those. Mikhail Kinsbury, he won it in the men's dual moguls. Megan Oldham won it in the women's big air. Our team of Ivan Blondin, Valerie Malte, and Isabelle Weideman, they won the team pursuit. Stephen Dubois won the men's 500 meters in speed skating. And for curling, Brad Jacobs' team of Mark Kennedy, Brett Gallant, Ben Herbert, and Tyler Tardy, they won gold in men's curling. We'll get around to the controversy around that in a little bit here. But again, Canada came out with 21 total medals, putting them 11th. So, hand of applause for our men and women who went across the ocean. And hopefully in 4 years, we'll be able to put on an even better performance. So, quickly over to curling. The women, props to them. They had a rough start in the preliminary rounds. And I don't know about you, Miggy, but me personally, I was worried that we weren't even going to medal. But
they look kind of scary for a second there. I've always known Canada to at least show up at the curling. And for, like you said, the women had a rough go in the start. But I feel like they regrouped themselves, maybe changed their game plan a little, and came back. And they came back strong and fought hard and managed to fight their way back into the bronze medal match against the States, which they won.
yeah, I think the final score was 10-7. So tightly contested, but proud of them. They fought back, and I mean even their semifinal matchup against Sweden, it did end 6-3, but it felt close the whole time. So props to them. They fought all the way through, and they come away with a well-deserved bronze. Now on the men's side, the Canadian men went on to win gold in curling, which after the early controversy,
it was everywhere.
I mean, you had pictures, memes, you had people raging online, and it's so interesting because on one hand, the rules are kind of unclear on it, because the ruling reads that you can't touch the stone past the hog line.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he did it. Like, yeah, he pushed with an extra finger, which he shouldn't be allowed to do, but he did it before the hog line, so it was almost technically legal.
Yeah, but after that, on February the 14th, the Olympic Committee sent out a memo with specifics on that rule, and since then there wasn't much on the controversy.
No.
Now, the women's did get a stone called dead on it, and some people were complaining about that. But since February 14th, there was a lot less talks on it and controversy that was happening during the curling.
Yeah, so maybe I don't think it was necessarily a mistake by the Canadian curler for doing it, but he was within the rules. But I think the Olympic Committee was smart. They did change that rule. They made it more clear. In spite of that, the Canadian men went on to have a dominant preliminary round. They won, I think, every game except for one or maybe two losses. I'd have to check that again. But they were dominant in the prelims. They made it all the way to gold, and it was tight, but they came out with that medal. Yeah. And, it props to them. It's not easy, especially mentally, when you are the face of controversy, the face of adversity, and you have everybody against you for something that you thought was okay at the time. For you to mentally center yourself and come back and win all the way through, that takes guts. That takes guts. So props to them again. One of our gold medal winners for Canada this year. So very proud of the boys. Now that we're past curling, we're going to move on to hockey quickly here. The Canadian women's. I am pleasantly surprised. I mean, they are a great team. Marie-Philippe Poulin. Our girls are amazing. They really are. But that American team looked unstoppable.
So here's the problem that we faced with the U.S. team for the women. They have a very strong blue line. They have the best, and I mean the best goalie. That goalie posted a .983 save percentage in the Olympics. 3 shutouts.
What was it? 2 goals allowed?
Yeah.
On nearly 100 shots. I mean, absolutely insane. So when Canada lost 5-0 to the States in the prelims,
I was terrified for the final, honestly. And I was just thinking, I hope it's just not that bad of a beating. And the girls showed up. Canada showed up. We scored that shorthanded goal in the beginning of the second. And for a while, it looked like it was going Canada's way. And the U.S. tied it up with not more than 2 minutes left in the third. And I'm sorry, that 3-on-3 overtime, they need to get rid of it.
It's that's almost another controversy if you want to put it that way. The 3-on-3 overtime is great for something like the NHL during the regular season.
It's great for 5 minutes, but for 20 minutes, that's insane.
20-minute gold medal game, 3-on-3. I mean, 3-on-3 is a 50-50 coin flip as is, right? The moment a team has possession, their odds of winning for those next 15 or 20 seconds skyrocket. So, I mean, props to the U.S. girls. They were scrappy in overtime. It was a close goal, but they capitalized off of a mistake.
Yeah.
And that's what you're supposed to do. So they earned it. They deserved it, especially their goalkeeper. I'm just proud for how close our girls from Canada kept it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was expecting to watch that game, not have too many heart palpitations, kind of just be happy with a close game. They gave me hope. For 65 minutes, they gave me hope that we could pull this gold out from the jaws of silver, and it was almost a reality. It's a hard-earned silver. Proud of the girls again. I know I keep using that word, but it is the only word that does justice to how I feel. So they can be proud. They can hang their heads high. Now, the game we just got finished watching just a few hours ago, the men's final. That was something.
So here's my issue I have with it. The referee, there was calls on both sides that didn't get called. I know a lot of Canadians are going to be like, hey, didn't call the too many men on the ice because Jack Hughes did play it. Didn't call a couple of high sticking. Not Montreal, sorry. But Canada itself did have a penalty or two that didn't get called as well. As much as I am a Canadian, and we're as Canadian as they come, we have to look at the whole picture. the reffing was not the best. Now, Canada also did capitalize on that long 5-on-3.
As even as the reffing was, and like you said, it wasn't great, but it was even. The amount of missed opportunity that Canada had.
Devin Tays that got right on the shaft of Hellebuck's stick. You got McKinnon with the open goal that he missed by a couple of centimeters. We even got Celebrini had to look at a wide open net. There's a couple of pass plays that the net was wide open, but no one was there. So it could have easily gone Canada's way earlier. And personally, for me, I feel like the better team did lose. But at the end of the day, the results are there. U.S. won it in overtime again, which I don't feel the 3-on-3 should be the overtime format for a gold medal. I feel like they should do like the NHL in the playoffs and bring it back to a full period of 5-on-5 and just keep going until a goal is scored. I understand they're trying to make sure the Olympics aren't going too long, but at the end of the day, is a 3-on-3 really the best way to do it?
I think you hit the nail right on the head there. Like, it's too much open ice. It's too much space for these fast, high-skill athletes. And it's just, like I said, it's too momentum heavy. You know, you get that opening face-off into overtime, you're likely to win. Yeah. Until you don't, and then the other team has a great chance. Canada outshot the States. I think it was 42-21.
It was 42-28.
42-28. There was a time where Canada almost tripled the States' total shots on goal. I have never seen that. I'm not that old. I'm only about 25. But in the amount of Canada versus U.S. games that I have seen, by and large, it is always the U.S. being the more physical team, have the team with more opportunities just in terms of volume, and Canada being the higher quality opportunities but lower volume.
Well, speaking about your physicality, Canada was actually the more physical one on this game.
I was not ready for Tom Wilson and Brad Marchand to essentially start the game as a bruiser line and set the tone the way they did.
Oh yeah, they set the tone, boys.
They went out there, they hit hard, they hit within the rules, which was a blessing. I honestly, looking back on the Four Nations, I fully expected a fight to break out here, even though it was the Olympics.
Oh, I'm surprised it didn't. The Chucks didn't seem like they wanted to fight, which is very uncharacteristic from them.
They were oddly quiet.
That too. Wilson did have that one scare that he went in the boards.
Yeah.
Head first. He did get up. He did play a little bit with his neck, but he played the rest of the game, so I'm not guessing there's too much. Crosby being hurt. Now, they kept saying he was day-to-day, so I don't think it'll affect Pittsburgh when he comes back. And he was on the ice for the medal, so...
So by the looks of it, he's skate ready, he's ice ready, but maybe not contact just yet.
Yeah, so he'll be day-to-day.
He'll be day-to-day,
So we'll have to keep focused on that.
Speaking of Canada's missed opportunities, Connor Hellebuck.
Without Connor Hellebuck, that game was 5-1 for Canada.
That man stood on business. And as somebody who most of my hockey experience comes from being a goaltender. Now, I haven't played ice hockey much, but I can respect a guy who puts his all out there. I mean, props to Binnington on the other end. He made some big saves.
Oh, he made some stellar saves. He sprawled out. He was there. He gave it his all. He just... 2 shots got past him, and it was the 2 shots that won the game.
And honestly, if I'm Binnington, if I'm letting in 2 shots and I'm locking eyes across the ice with a guy like Connor Hellebuck who lets in 1 goal on 40-plus shots, I'm proud.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's hard as the gold medal loser, right? Because that's what silver is. It's hard, but Hellebuck gave Canada everything he had.
Yep.
And you have to give it to him. So it was a tight game, and it basically just came down to Canada couldn't capitalize on their plethora of opportunities, and the two mistakes that they made on the defensive end, the U.S. capitalized.
Let's talk about that Matt Boldy goal, actually, before we turn this off. I think he was just, like the commentator says, Makar and Taze didn't think that he had that speed.
No, they stopped moving. Honestly, it very much reminded me of the game-winning goal against Czechia.
That Marner goal?
Yeah.
Yep.
It reminded me very much of that. They were just not prepared, which in a heat of the moment, I kind of understand, especially as a defense, you were thinking of so many other things.
Yeah.
But your priority number one needs to be stopping the puck, and they just didn't do that. Right? I mean, it was a great push from Boldy, but I do think that was avoidable. I think it was stoppable. He made a good move on Binnington. I mean, I can't say that it was an easy shot to stop, but there was no reason he should have been able to get all the way to the net.
Yeah. Well, once again, just want to say a big shout out to all the athletes who did perform, even the ones who maybe didn't get a medal. We're just proud that you guys represented Canada. You guys did a good job. You looked awesome. And for the athletes who had medals, congratulations. I hope you guys have a wonderful time off just to maybe relax, recover properly before maybe heading back to the training room and trying again for the next Olympics, which is in France, I believe. And, yeah, Mike will be turning off.